Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I want to do a card pull and see what kind of message the universe has for us today. It's very interesting. I don't think we've pulled this card. I've pulled this card personally, but I don't think we've done this for a video, which is exciting. So, it says trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And I think that this is really interesting because I was watching another video the other day, and the person was doing card pulls, and they were, you had to pick the number 1, 2, or 3, and I picked the number, and the card that I drew, no, or that they drew, that was the number that I picked, was it was a Joan of Arc card, and it was talking about basically just your inner wisdom and trusting that inner wisdom, and just really listening to it during this time. So I just think that that is really funny, a really funny coincidence that I chose that card in a video that I was watching personally, and then I drew this card in my video. So I think that this is definitely the time because, okay, so we are well aware that we are in the midst of spiritual warfare, and I think we can see a lot of those things playing out in the collective, in the 3D. Although I feel like by the time it trickles down and plays out in the 3D, much more has gone on beyond the veil. Because if you think about it, if you take something like manifestation, it starts with your thoughts and your feelings, and then it kind of trickles down, and then it becomes, something 3D in your reality. So this warfare is kind of the same thing. It is playing out in our minds, it is playing out in our souls, it is beyond the veil, a lot of it. And then when it trickles down into the 3D is where we see things that are physically playing out right now. So that is why a lot of healing plays out in the way it does. That is why a lot of these things that are going on kind of are going on. But we also have to keep in mind that there's more going on than meets the eye. It is not just about the specific individual things that are going on. Those are just kind of the results of the higher, more spiritual warfare things that are actually going on. And that is why we can't always trust what we see and what we experience in this world. So if you've ever heard the saying, trust half of what you see and nothing you hear, that can kind of play into what is going on right now in the world. So if we were to believe that what we're seeing playing out in our 3D reality is just a trickle down of what's going on in the spiritual world, then we can know that what we are seeing and what we are hearing, that there is much more to that than meets the eye or the ear. So that saying really rings true right now. Trust half of what you see and nothing you hear. Then you're like, well, what do I trust? Where do I look? Of course, we look into the divine, but where is the divine? Where does the divine live? Inside of every single one of us. That is why we need to always be going within. And that is what this card is trying to tell us, to trust ourselves and to trust our guts and to trust ourselves when we are having that niggle. I actually don't really like that word. I think it's like a weird word, but it's what's on the card. But trusting that gut feeling, trusting that intuition, and especially when it's your intuition, because sometimes we can have flash thoughts. Not everything that comes to us immediately is our intuition. Sometimes it is a feeling or a belief or just something kind of popping up, but you know when it's your intuition. And when you know, when you know. But when it is your intuition and when you are knowing that it is, and that Joan of Arc card, that inner wisdom that you have, that inner wisdom that you possess, when you know that, trust it and follow it, because it is leading you to essentially where you want to be going. And your intuition is also here to aid you in seeing beyond what is going on in our physical reality, what is playing out, the trickle down of what is playing out. Okay, don't fall for the divisive measures that are being played out in front of us right now. Don't trust that. That is not the way. Always come back. What is the divine telling me? What would the divine want me to do right now? What is my inner knowing telling me? What is that niggle? What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? This is the time we need to tap in and tune in. And like I talked about in my last video, about taking those moments to connect with the divine throughout your day. This is so important, because right now is when we need to trust and rely on our intuition more than ever, because our ego and what is playing out in the collective might be telling us one thing, might be, "Ooh, I think I need to do this." But then when you go within and you ask yourself, no, stand strong. You know what you're doing. You know what is best for you. Stay in what is best for you. That is the feeling that we need to trust. And we need to start doing the work, the inner work, the outer work, to continue to clear our channels so we can even further trust our intuition, because I think that we are just, I hate to say it, but I think that we are kind of just at the tip of the iceberg of what is going on right now and what is going to be playing out and what exactly our roles are going to be. And I have no idea exactly what it's going to look like or how it's going to play out. That is not something that I see, but I just feel like we've been in training and we are kind of like, training's over, but we are kind of just at the beginning of what we are here to do. And we need to be faithful and trusting of the divine and ourselves, because I've been processing, I don't want to say it's trauma because it doesn't come from this lifetime, but I almost think it is coming from this lifetime. I think it's coming from what the reality is. And, it's kind of like maybe a prosecution trauma, or like an imprisonment trauma. And, I know that I'm not supposed to lead with fear, and I just feel, this like, I have to release this fear, this trauma, whether that has been from lifetimes before, or whether that's part of what my soul is going through, or what is actually like, once you start to see beyond the veil, once you start to see beyond what our 3D reality is, you come to find that we are actually imprisoned. We are actually spiritually imprisoned. And that is what this time is about, to break free, to break those chains, and to come into our true selves, our freest self. That is where we free our minds, we free our souls. That is where we see beyond the collective and what is going on. The things that are playing out right now, getting wrapped up in that is imprisonment. Freeing ourselves is going beyond that. And how do we go beyond that? We trust the niggle. We trust ourselves. We trust what is in our heart. We trust what we know that the divine is telling us. And then we go on our journey. we keep going. We keep doing the work. We keep spreading that light every single place we go. We understand that we have the power to lift the vibration of the entire planet, of the collective, of every room you walk into, of every street that you drive by, with every interaction that you have. We have the power to lift that vibration, and that is what we can do from every single one of our individual lives, regardless of what kind of life, what kind of experience we are having right now. We can do that, and that is our job. We are the light warriors. We are here to bring the light. So let's bring it. Today's Monday. This is a great video to start it off with. Let's trust ourselves, let's trust our intuition, and let's bring the light harder than we've ever brought it before. So that is our message for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Anne, and I hope to see you next time.